from her house, like a caregiver.
Okay. How's the Zoom, Michael? It's good? Okay. Everyone's comfortable? I know there's a lot of sun, so would you guys prefer to stand underneath the shade?
We can move everything around.
Because we'll probably be here about half an hour, so I don't want you guys to get too hot.
We'll get your umbrella.
I'm fine. Put it in the air all day, so the sun will do.
So we're gathered here today on a sad occasion to say goodbye to a lady who was a good friend of ours, someone we cared for, she cared for us, someone we loved very much. And saying goodbye to a person who is not your blood, who is not your family, but yet you care so deeply about, she means so much to you, it's truly a hard thing. So I know we have here at the cemetery Veronica, and we have Charlotte, we have Kim on Zoom, and we have a few other caregivers possibly who will watch this later on. And I know you guys took care of her as a family member, and you really got to know her, and you really loved her, and you really made her life good as possible. You gave her a smile that she had daily, and you made her feel part of a family that she never had quite before. So we begin the service with the 23rd Psalm, a familiar psalm that we will say in Hebrew, then we will say in English. Mizmor LeDavid, Adonai roi lo exar, Binai steshech yarbitzeni, alei menuchos yinachleni. Nafshi yeshovev yancheni v'maglei tzedek l'man shemo, gam ki elach legeit samaves, lo yira ra ki ata imadi. Shivtecha mishantecha, hima yenachamoni. Parach lefanai shulchan, neged sarai, Yishante v'shem Eloshi, Tosi Ravaya, Achtov v'chesed, Yirdefuni, Kol Yemei Chayai, V'shavte v'veis Adonai, La'orach Yamim. We'll say the words in English, which many of you might be familiar with, and you're welcome to follow along. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in right paths for his name's sake. Though I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Thou hast set before me a table in the presence of mine enemies. Thou hast anointed my head with oil, thy cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. It's also the Jewish custom to read a section from the Proverbs chapter 31. It is known as Eshet Chayil. It is a listing according to the Aleph Beit, according to the Hebrew alphabet, of the special accolades of a woman of valor. Sometimes it alludes to a husband, it alludes to a family, but it can definitely be applied to many different circumstances of a person's life. Eshet Chayil miyimsa v'rachot mipnei nifra batach levala v'shel ve'otzar gamal su tov v'lo kol yemei chayecha dar shir tzemer utishtim v'tas v'chapetz kapecha haisa kiniyoi soicher v'merchak havi lachma v'tacham b'yod laila v'teref levesim hot narasecha zamama sadeh v'tikim heichel mipi kapecha natu parem hagra be'oz v'asnecha v'tamei tzoresecha Tama kita sachra, Lo yechrei v'layla neira. Yedecha shilcha v'kishor, v'kapecha samchu faleh. Kalpa parsa li'ani, ve'yadecha shilcha li'evyo. L'sir nivisa li'shaleg, v'kisa l'vus shanim. Marvadim asisala, sheish v'argaman l'vusha. Loda b'shari bala, v'shifto im zikne aretz. Sadim asisa v'timkor, v'chagar nasa v'knani. Oz v'hadar l'vusha, v'tischok l'yom acharoin. Ticha pascha v'hachma, v'soyres chesed al v'shoina. Sophia halichas besa, v'lechem atzlus l'sochel. Kamu v'necha v'yeshura, v'ala v'yehalla. Rabos panas asel chayil, yatalis al kulana. Shekir achein v'hevel ayofi, isha yersadinai, ki tisalo. Tenula mipri yadecha, v'halucha v'sharim ma'asecha. An accomplished woman who can find far beyond pearls is her value. Her family's heart relies on her, and she shall lack no fortune. They repay her good, but never her harm, all the days of her life. She seeks out wool and linen, and her hands work willingly. She is like a merchant ship, from afar she brings her sustenance. She rises well as nighttime, and gives food to her household. With strength she girds her loins, and invigorates her arms. She spreads her palm to the poor, and extends her hands to the destitute. She makes a cloak to sell, and delivers a belt to the peddler. Strength and majesty are her raiment. She joyfully awaits the last day. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and a lesson of kindness is on her tongue. She anticipates the ways of her household, and partakes not of the bread of laziness. Her children arise and praise her. Her husband he lauds her. Many daughters have amassed achievement, but you have surpassed them all. False is grace and vain is beauty. A God-fearing woman, she should be praised. Give her the fruits of her hands, and let her be praised in the gates by her very own deeds. Sometimes the idea of a eulogy, it seems more geared towards people who are able to do a lot of stuff in their life, accomplish a lot of things, have a lot of things that you can write down on a piece of paper. But there are many people where that's not really relevant. But what they leave behind, their everlasting legacy, is a very human, a very personal, a very emotional one, where they touch the hearts of people in a very deep and special way. And so I didn't really know Barbara at all. I think looking at her picture, I think I saw her a couple times. She must have been at Target or on some kind of trip with her, the folks at the group home. But the way that she affected the people, how you guys talk about her, is quite amazing. And it's not so easy to find a person who has had the life that she has had. There's a lot to complain about. There's a lot to be bitter about. Not having a connection to your parents, not having a connection to your brother, and having to be in the context of institutional housing for all your life virtually. From age 7, I understand, to the time of her passing, she was a person who lived in an institution. But I think the amazing thing about her was it shows that you can't take a person and put them in an institution, and the person is always there. Human being is always there, and she connects to other human beings. And it's quite amazing to hear how much her caregivers, you guys loved her and cared for her and really respected her. And you guys put in so much years of caring and loving her that I know that it will indeed be a very difficult loss. A difficult loss for the employees, a difficult loss for the residents who very much were like her family. You guys told me about her that she had this beautiful smile, she had this lovely energy, she had this lovely radiance on her face. And Charlotte, when she was writing on the website, she just talked about her body pose. She wrote, "My fondest memories of Barb, as we love to call her, was the first time. The first time I saw her sitting at the dining room table, with her legs crossed, hands folded across her knees, like such a British lady ready for her afternoon tea and biscuits. Her looking up at me with those piercing blue eyes. And the way she used to run on her tippy toes, and I do mean run, you just had to see it. It was the cutest ever." Charlotte wrote, "You'll be missed, my old friend." And you were saying that also how she loved her music, and she loved any kindnesses that you did for her. And she was a very, very affectionate person. She loved people. She loved to embrace them. She loved to be held by them.
No, go on and take another one tonight.
Love might have been.
So just take another one tonight.
And so very often, when I was a person, I think you told me, who had candies in their pocket, she would give the person a nice big hug, a nice big embrace, but she would also be interested in candies in her pocket. So she took care of those those two. And you said also how music really brought her spirits out. I can picture her from what you're saying, Charlotte, like
Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah.
jumping
Yeah.
around, just loving her music so much.
Yeah.
So it was really interesting because when I spoke to you guys just this morning, I was helping my wife out, and my wife happens to be a speech therapist, and she specializes in AAC, which is the way to help people who can't communicate using alternative augmentative communication. They use boards that you can point to, they use symbols, they use sign language, they use computers to speak for them. And so what was happening was that I was helping my wife is going from one job to another, and she has all of these files that she has to migrate from one computer to another. And she didn't have the time to do it, and it was kind of complicated. So she made me do it. So for about 3 hours, I was looking at all these symbols that are used for kids who can't see well, and they have to describe what they want. Are they hungry? Are they thirsty?
Yeah, you probably have diarrhea, and that's one of the symptoms as
It was
well.
getting so boring, and so I'm going crazy. I can't do this anymore.
So.
I don't have my passion.
Medicine, though.
All of a sudden, I get the calls from you guys, but a real person, who unfortunately didn't live at a time where there were so many aids and so many resources, but it proved the need that every single human being has a big heart, has a big soul, and we all have to make the efforts to connect to them and to bring them out. And once we bring them out, not only do we...
If anything gets worse as far as your breathing is concerned or whatever, you would need to call 911 to come and get you. You would need to drive back.
Thank her for her strength, for her personality, her spirit, and she really gave a lot to the home and the other residents.
If you have a lot of trouble breathing, you could drive and just pass out.
Strength to help more people.
Right.
And to her is that the same way she inspired us and made us feel good about what we do.
So if you would have to call them, then you would just need to open up your door,
other people,
unlock your door, and then sit and wait for them to get there.
We should be for a blessing, and all the good deeds you did in this world.
Just make sure your door is unlocked.
Continue on forever.
Just in case you passed out or something, they'd be able to get in.
I had a chance to say just a few words. I don't know if anyone is on the Zoom who would like to say anything.
No, the medicine is supposed to make you, the medicine is antibiotic. That's for the pneumonia. But sometimes when people get worse with this, then they have trouble breathing and they will pass out if you're not getting enough oxygen. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody interested in saying a word or two over Zoom? The next part of the funeral service in the Jewish tradition is the physical burial. And that in some traditions, they skip over that. They don't really do that because indeed it's a very difficult thing. It's a very emotional thing. It's a painful thing. But the Jewish tradition is that we get our hands dirty, so to speak, and we take care of the process physically on our own because it's a way of showing a special love, a special caring, and respect to somebody, on their final day. And it's called the Chesed Shel Emeth, the kindness of truth, because it's the last real kindness we can do for a person. They can't thank us, they can't smile, but we just do it for them because it's pure kindness, nothing else. So at this moment now, we're going to remain standing and we're going to go ahead and lower the casket to the ground. And once the casket is lowered, we'll give each and every person an opportunity to take a shovel full of earth, place it upon it. And after we've done that, after a few minutes of shoveling, then we'll complete the service with the final memorial prayer.
color you guys are looking for?
It's a special honor to take the shovel and do the first few scoops. So if you guys are able to, it's not an easy thing. Just take a small amount of earth like you can do. Place it on top of the casket. Put it right there. Oh, sure. Then we'll do it. If you don't mind, maybe we'll finish all the earth, and then at the end, so it doesn't get covered over by. That'll be the last thing we do. But as in terms of like, in fact, sometimes you walk off with your hand. So. The resident? For your resident.
Yeah, move that one out too. All right, we gotta.
Still the good part left. They might have just depend. Might have been. Fairly. I just want to close with a special reading. A reading that was written by a person whose life was very short and wanted to leave some words of strength and hope for the people that they left behind. So they wrote the following thing anonymously. For those I love, those who love me. When I am gone, release me. Let me go. I have so many things to see and do. You mustn't tie yourself to me with tears. Be happy that we had precious years. I gave you my love. You can only guess how much you gave to me in happiness. I thank you for the love you each have shown, but now it's time to travel on alone. So grieve a while for me, if grieve you must. Then let your grief be comforted by trust. It's only for a while that we must part, so bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on. So if you need me, call, and I will come. Though you can't see or touch me, I'll be near. All of my love around you, soft and clear. And when you must come this way alone, I will greet you with a smile and say, welcome. We close with the Jewish memorial prayer. The theme of the prayer is that in the world above, God takes care of all those people who have passed away. God shields them with the loving embrace of his wings, and puts them in very special company, very holy and pristine company. So we say this prayer, as follows. First in Hebrew, then we say in English. El Malirachamim, Shoychein Mamrumim, Amsei Menucha Nechaina, Al Kanfei Hashbina, Bemalois Kedoshim Udarim, Gezerakia Maslim, Esnishmas, Barbara, Mas Sheldon, the Goldie, the Halakha Lama, Bavor Tanachnu Nispalim Baz Kasnishmasa, Began Eden Day Menuchasa, Lechein Bal Harachamim, Yastirecha Besisa Kanafam Vyoitlamim, Yitzur Betor Chayim Esnishmasa, Adonai Hu Nachlasa, Bisanuach HaMishkava B'Shalom, B'Namar, Amen. O God, full of mercy, who dwells on high, grant proper rest on the wings of the divine presence, in the lofty levels of the holy and the pure ones who shine like the glow of the firmament. For the soul of our most beloved Barbara Cohen, the daughter of Sheldon and Goldie, who has gone into her world and for whom we pray. May her resting place be in the Garden of Eden. May the Master of Mercy shelter her in the shelter of his wings for all eternity. And may he bind her soul in the bonds of eternal life. God is her heritage, and may she repose in peace on her resting place. We say together, Amen. We close the service by giving words of comfort and consolation to all of her family, all of the people that she loved the most in the group home that she lived in. And the Jewish thing that we say, the prayer, the blessing is Hamakom Yinachem Eschem V'Sochar Aveli Tzion Yerushalayim. May the omnipresent comfort you among all the mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. So we wish you guys a lot of strength. And on behalf of the community, we thank you so much for all the beautiful caring that you do and how you take care of our people so beautifully. And make people like Barbara so happy. Give them real meaning in their life. Give them a purpose. Give them people to surround them with love. So our thoughts and condolences. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.